It was the year 1876, an age of steam, steel, and astonishing inventions. Trains roared across continents. Factories rose like giants. Machines were beginning to shape the modern world, and yet there was one miracle the world still did not have. People could not speak to each other from far away. If you wanted to send a message, you waited days, sometimes weeks. Words traveled slowly. And so did human connection. But then came a man with a dream so bold it sounded like fantasy. A man who believed sound could travel through wires, that human voices could leap across miles as easily as a bird crosses the sky. In a small, cluttered workshop, a young inventor worked late into the night after night until his dream finally came alive. That man was Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor who changed the way humanity communicates forever. Alexander Graham Bell was born on March 3rd, 1847, in Edinburgh, Scotland. His father, Alexander Melville Bell, was a respected teacher of speech. His mother, Eliza Grace Simmons Bell, was gentle, artistic, and almost completely deaf. Little Alexander watched her struggle to hear the world. He learned to speak slowly so she could read his lips. He created small gestures and simple signs to help her understand him. These quiet moments with his mother planted a seed inside him, a deep, lifelong curiosity about sound, hearing, and communication. As a boy, he wasn't fond of memorizing lessons. He preferred music, experiments, and taking things apart just to see how they worked. At just 12 years old, he built a machine that removed wheat husks faster than any human hand. But school could not contain his imagination. At 15, he left formal schooling and continued learning in his own way with his eyes, his hands, and his boundless curiosity. Tragedy struck the Bell family as Alexander's brothers, Edward and Melville, both fell ill with tuberculosis. Doctors warned that London's smoky air was killing them. The family moved to Canada in 1870, seeking fresh air and a fresh start. They settled near Brantford, Ontario, a quiet landscape of fields, forests, and open skies. Here, Alexander found peace and purpose. Behind the family house stood an old barn. He turned it into a workshop filled with tuning forks, wires, magnets, and scattered notes. Every day he experimented with sound-watching vibrations, recording wave patterns, imagining voices traveling through electricity. Failures were constant. Success was rare, but the dream never left him. When he gazed across those Canadian fields, he imagined voices traveling across distance, not coded messages, but real, living, human speech. In 1871, Bell was invited to Boston to teach at the School for the Deaf. He used his father's feasible speech system to show students how sound moves through the mouth and throat. He taught with extraordinary patience and kindness. Students would place their hands on his throat to feel the vibrations as he spoke. For them, he wasn't just a teacher, he was a bridge to a world they had never heard. But Bell's classroom was only half his life. The other half was his workshop. Experiment after experiment filled his evenings. He was obsessed with mixing the science of sound with the new magic of electricity, building strange devices from magnets and wires. In 1873, he became a professor of vocal physiology at Boston University, teaching by day, inventing by night. It was around this time that he met Thomas Watson, a young, brilliant electrician who understood his wild ideas instantly. The two became partners and soon, the world's most important invention team. Their first big project was the harmonic telegraph, a device that could send multiple musical tones through a single wire. It was a clever idea, but Bell saw something more, something far grander. If music could travel through electricity, maybe speech could too. By 1874, their workshop hummed with strange noises, buzzing wires, vibrating reeds, and the metallic ring of tuning forks. Neighbors whispered that the two men were crazy, but Bell kept pushing, whispering to Watson, "If I can make electricity speak, we can make the world hear each other." By 1875, musical tones traveled successfully through wires. Bell knew he was standing at the edge of a new world, a world where distance would no longer silence human voices. Early in 1876, the workshop was a chaotic jungle of tangled wires, battery jars, and metal coils. Bell and Watson hardly slept. Every experiment brought them closer to their goal or pushed them further away in frustration. Then, on March 10th, 1876, it happened. In the middle of an experiment, Bell accidentally spilled acid on his clothes and shouted out in panic, "Mr. Watson, come. Here, I want to see you." And to their utter shock, Watson heard the words, not through the air, but through the wire. It was the first telephone call in human history. In that singular, breathtaking instant, the world became smaller. Voices could now travel across impossible distances. Families, friends, and nations could speak as if the world were a single room. Bella's dream, a dream born from the silence of a mother who could not hear, had just given hearing to the entire world. Alexander Graham Bell did not set out to build a famous invention. He set out to solve a deeply human problem, to help people connect, understand each other, and feel less alone. He believed that every great invention begins not with ambition, but with compassion. And he proved that even the quiet dreams of one determined mind can echo across centuries. Today, billions of voices travel across the globe every second, all because one man dared to believe that sound could fly through wires. In doing so, he taught humanity how to speak across distance. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more untold histories. See you next time.